What new juicy gossip can we expect this week from our favorite celebrities? Well, here's Simon Martinez with her E-Buzz.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Sima, and I'm here to give you all the gossip in Hollywood.
With Britney Spears' new album out on shelves, it's clear she doesn't have a prayer. The Catholic Church is not too happy about some pictures in the album Blackout. In the photos, the Pop-Tart is sitting on a priest's lap and leaning on a confessional very seductively. Kid Rock is off the hook. He won't be charged with battery after fighting with Tommy Lee at the MTV Music Awards. Officials say that Tommy Lee requested there be no prosecution related to that incident. And if you remember, neither of them was hurt during the fight. Is Nicole Richie smoking while she's pregnant? The New York Post says she is, but reps say they could not be more wrong. The newspaper says they spotted Richie smoking twice in New York City a couple of weeks ago. But apparently, she's not even in the country. The New York Post should be black and white and blushing all over. And Ellen DeGeneres is making a good deal in a dress. She is supposed to be one of the briefcase babes on the NBC show Deal or No Deal. That episode will air this January.
That's it for E-Buzz, but the news does not stop here. Here's Steve and Fabian with WTF News.
What's up, guys? Steve and Fabian here with another edition of WTF News. A Western Pennsylvania man and die-hard comic book collector, Todd McDevitt, recently struck gold in the world of our printed action heroes, acquiring a pre-World War II issue of the Detective comic that features the debut of our favorite Caped Crusader, Batman. A comic book store owner himself, McDevitt claims that the issue is worth over $250,000, an amount that to him is seemingly chump change, as he's still collecting royalty checks from DVD sales of the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which is loosely based on his life. In need of a weapon during a fight with her boyfriend, an Erie, Pennsylvania woman chose, of all things, her 4-week-old son, swinging the child wildly, striking her boyfriend and injuring the infant's skull. She'll soon spend time in a local prison, and the boyfriend will walk free, most likely due to his choice of a less effective weapon, a 90-year-old grandfather named Henry. In a recent interview, California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger told GQ magazine that marijuana is in fact not a drug, it's just a leaf. He later went on to say that being governor is not a job, it's just something that he does for fun, and that the Terminator series of films aren't just great movies, they're visual interpretations of the Ten Commandments and Karl Marx's theory of exploitation. That's WTF News. I'm Stephen Fabian, and stay here for more on E-Asylum.
Now, if I had to choose between Russell Crowe or Denzel Washington, I'd probably take them both. I mean, hello, they're two puppy chulos. You can check them out in American Gangster now in theaters.
Based on a true story, American Gangster explores the lives of both Frank Lucas, a drug kingpin turned informant, and Richie Roberts, who finally helped bring the kingpin to justice. We sat down with the actors and director Ridley Scott and asked them why it was so important to tell the story.
It's a good story. You know, it's I don't know who was it? Was it based originally on this New Yorker article or New York Magazine article? Yeah. I just think that that writer saw an interest. I'd be curious to see where he or she started, if it was talking to one of them, talking to the other, realizing the connection. It's a unique connection between these two people, I mean, and how their lives came together and stayed together till this day. I just think it's a good story.
With such vivid personalities that make a story worth telling, we had to ask the director and actors about the men behind the characters.
Frank Lucas decides to be king of Harlem. In so doing, sees the times are changing and the opportunity of actually getting heroin to the general public is going to be one massive business.
I think he's a brilliant man who went off in the wrong direction, mastered that, and paid the price for it.
Richie Roberts was also kind of unique in his time in the police department, because there's a lot of corruption which was rife in the police department at this particular point in history, which is not new, I don't think. It was going on for decades. Who was unique in the fact he was a crusader for straightness in terms of being a cop.
As a man, meeting Richie and getting to talk to him and understand where he comes from and stuff, I sort of see him as a sort of a guy who believes greatly in his country, you know, and enjoying himself in many of the institutions of the country, the Marine Corps, the police force, the prosecutor's office, you know, and wasn't satisfied with what he saw there. But instead of turning against his country, right, found the place where he could be a patriot.
He kept talking to me about America. He says, you know, I'm an American and I believe in it, I'm very patriotic. And yet he was, you know, responsible for destroying many Americans. He is a complex man.
Where's the love? I said, where's the... Not only have they conquered primetime television, The Simpsons are set to take over the video game market as well. The Simpsons game features a storyline written by the show's creators and has the advantage of the show's entire cast providing the voices for all of the characters. There are 4 acts divided into 16 chapters and over 8,000 lines of dialogue. The locations you'll visit are iconic, and the game features the show's trademark satire with parodies of other video games, current events, and pop culture. You can play as 2 predetermined members of the Simpsons family in each board. There is a co-op mode so you can team with a buddy, or you can switch between characters at will. The Simpsons game is a platformer at heart. It's a short game, but the awesome sense of humor and fun level design and Homer's sheer coolness earns The Simpsons 4 out of 5.
Anyways, gotta go.
Now, for all those of you who are already in the Christmas spirit, check out our favorite wedding crasher, Vince Vaughn, with his new movie, Claus.
It's wedding season!
Not this time, Vince. We won't be hearing wedding bells. Instead, Vince will be crashing a different type of party, way up north. From the same director that brought you Wedding Crashers comes Vince Vaughn's new holiday comedy, Claus.
Fred! All you think about is yourself. Don't throw snowballs at me. Fat boy! Ah! Come on!
So was it hard for Vince to switch from raunchy and wild to family and soulful?
You know, the thing for me was actually kind of fun because I like the spirit of the movie. And so for me, I think the thing that turned out so good, which is a real testament to David Dobkin, is, you know, the movie works for adults, but not because it's gross out or shocking, but it's kind of smart, you know, not to give it away, but like the sibling scene that comes later in the film, I think is really funny. And it's really kind of, adults really appreciate that. But the tone, and I think the heart of the film, kids go crazy for this movie. And I think David did a really nice job of saying what's smart that we're gonna be able to track, but at the same time, not at the expense of including kids, because you're making a holiday movie, you want it to be for kids.
Claus is now in theaters.
For this E-Asylum shirt right here,
okay,
would you kiss me?
Sure.
Oh, really?
Wait, no tongue though.
No,
just a peg,
no
right?
problem, just a
Because
peg.
you don't have a test.
No.
And you should never share any kind of bodily fluids with someone without a test.
She's right. See, right there. Get no better than that.
Yeah, it's the good kind. You know what I mean? It's the good kind. You know? Yeah, I might could do that.
So you will.
Yes.
Cool.
It's my size, fine.
Hey, she loves me.
You want tongue or no tongue?
I don't care. Which one do you prefer? Hold up, hold up.
Isn't that good for you? Yeah, that was good for him.
Still to come, hotties in bikinis, interviews with the cast of Beowulf, and soundtracks. Stay tuned for more only on E-Asylum.